Jinger Duggar and her husband, Jeremy Voulo, recently welcomed their newest addition into the world, and after spending time in New York to ensure a smooth postpartum transition, they have finally made their way back home to Arkansas. The couple, who already have 3 children, Izzy, 5, Hunter, 3, and baby Hope, now just over a year old, could not wait to introduce their new bundle of joy to the rest of the Duggar family. Returning to Fayetteville meant stepping back into the warm embrace of their large extended family, where laughter, love, and support are always abundant. For Jinger, coming home with her newborn felt like a full-circle moment. Having grown up surrounded by siblings and relatives, she values the importance of family deeply. Now, as a mother of 4, she is eager to instill those same values in her own children while navigating modern parenthood on her own terms. The return to Arkansas also means reuniting with her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, whose home remains a central gathering place for the entire family. With 19 children of their own, the Duggars understand the joys and challenges that come with raising a large household, making them an invaluable source of wisdom and encouragement for Jinger and Jeremy. As the couple settles back into life in Arkansas, they look forward to sharing this new chapter with loved ones. Their children are excited to meet their newest sibling, and the anticipation within the Duggar household is palpable. For Jinger and Jeremy, having their growing family together under one roof once again brings a sense of peace and stability, reinforcing the deep connections that define their journey as parents. The moment Jinger, Jeremy, and their newest arrival stepped into the Duggar home, the atmosphere was filled with warmth and excitement. The house buzzed with energy as siblings, cousins, and grandparents eagerly awaited their arrival. As soon as the door opened, Jinger was met with a chorus of joyful greetings and hugs from her parents and siblings, all eager to catch a glimpse of the newest little Duggar. The youngest members of the family were especially thrilled, their eyes lighting up as they peered into the car seat to see the tiny newborn wrapped in a soft blanket. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar beamed with pride as they gently held their grandchild, whispering sweet words of welcome. Michelle, ever the doting grandmother, carefully adjusted the baby's hat before passing him around to his aunts and uncles, each taking turns cradling the newest addition. The older Duggar siblings, many of whom are parents themselves, shared knowing smiles as they recalled the early days of parenting, offering tips and reassurance to Jinger and Jeremy. Meanwhile, the younger cousins darted around the room, giggling and chattering about how small the baby was compared to when they were born. Hope, now just over a year old, curiously watched the commotion unfold around her. Though still too young to fully grasp the significance of the moment, she seemed fascinated by the attention everyone was giving to the new baby. Izzy and Hunter, always eager to help, hovered nearby, asking if they could hold the baby or assist in any way. Jinger smiled at their enthusiasm, reminding them that they would have plenty of opportunities to bond with their newest sibling in the days ahead. The reunion was more than just a chance to meet the baby, it was a celebration of family, tradition, and love. As the evening wore on, the Duggars gathered around for a meal, catching up and sharing stories, while the baby peacefully slept through the lively chatter. In that moment, surrounded by generations of loved ones, Jinger and Jeremy felt a deep sense of gratitude for the unwavering support of their family. As Jinger and Jeremy settle into life with their growing family, they continue to navigate the unique balance between their personal parenting choices and the traditional values instilled in them by the Duggar household. While their upbringing emphasized strong family bonds, faith, and community, Jinger and Jeremy have embraced a more independent approach to raising their children. They have chosen to incorporate elements of attachment parenting, prioritizing close physical contact, co-sleeping, and responsive caregiving, which differs from some of the more structured routines practiced in the Duggar household. One of the most significant ways Jinger and Jeremy have differentiated their parenting style is in their openness to modern approaches to education and socialization. Unlike the strict homeschooling model followed by the Duggars, Jinger and Jeremy have expressed interest in alternative learning environments, including Montessori-based education and unschooling methods. They believe in fostering curiosity and creativity in their children rather than adhering to a rigid curriculum. This perspective has led to discussions within the family, particularly with Jim, Bob, and Michelle, who value consistency and structure in child rearing. However, rather than causing division, these conversations have allowed for mutual understanding and respect, with both sides acknowledging that every family must find what works best for them. Another area where Jinger and Jeremy have taken a different path is in their approach to discipline and communication. While the Duggars historically relied on corporal punishment and strict behavioral expectations, Jinger and Jeremy have opted for gentler, dialogue-based discipline techniques. They emphasize emotional intelligence, encouraging their children to express their feelings and resolve conflicts through conversation rather than punitive measures. This shift has been influenced by Jinger's personal growth and reflections on her own childhood, as well as Jeremy's background in counseling and child development. Though this approach initially sparked discussion among extended family members, it has ultimately reinforced the idea that parenting philosophies can evolve while still maintaining deep familial ties. Despite these differences, Jinger and Jeremy remain deeply connected to their roots, often seeking advice from their parents and siblings when faced with parenting challenges. They appreciate the wisdom that comes from raising such a large family and recognize the value of experience, even as they carve out their own distinct path. Through open dialogue and mutual respect, they continue to blend tradition with modernity, creating a nurturing environment that honors both their past and their evolving beliefs. Jinger's personal evolution has been a journey marked by self-discovery, reflection, and a commitment to forging her own identity beyond the public eye. Raised in a highly visible family with a specific set of values and traditions, she has spent years exploring perspectives outside of her upbringing, allowing her to develop a more nuanced worldview. Her decision to step away from the family's reality show, 19 Kids and Counting, was a pivotal moment in that journey, giving her the space to grow without constant scrutiny. Since then, she has embraced a lifestyle that aligns more closely with her personal beliefs, while still honoring the foundation laid by her family. One of the most notable shifts in Jinger's life has been her increased openness to diverse viewpoints. She has spoken candidly about how exposure to different cultures, ideas, and experiences has broadened her understanding of the world. This willingness to learn has influenced not only her parenting style, but also the way she engages with her extended family. Rather than distancing herself from her roots, she has found a middle ground where she can maintain strong familial ties while also asserting her independence. This balance has been key in ensuring that her children grow up with a sense of belonging to the larger Duggar family, while also being encouraged to think critically and form their own perspectives. Jeremy, too, has played a crucial role in shaping their family dynamic. His background in counseling and theology has given him a thoughtful approach to relationships and personal growth, which he applies both in his marriage and in his interactions with the Duggar family. He and Jinger work together to create an environment where their children feel supported in expressing their individuality, even as they remain part of a tightly knit extended family. By fostering open communication and emotional intelligence, they aim to raise children who are confident in their identities, yet respectful of their heritage. Through this ongoing process of growth, Jinger and Jeremy have demonstrated that change does not have to mean separation. Instead, they have built a bridge between tradition and modernity, ensuring that their children inherit the best aspects of both worlds. Spending quality time together as a family has become increasingly important for Jinger, Jeremy, and their children as they adjust to life with their newest addition. The Duggar household in Arkansas offers a built-in support system, providing not only practical help with childcare, but also emotional encouragement during this transitional period. Whether it's Michelle watching over the baby so Jinger can rest, or one of Jinger's sisters stepping in to entertain Izzy and Hunter, the presence of extended family allows for moments of respite and connection that strengthen their familial bonds. Beyond daily assistance, the Duggars make a conscious effort to engage in meaningful activities that foster unity and tradition. Family dinners remain a staple, bringing multiple generations together around the table to share meals, stories, and laughter. These gatherings provide a sense of normalcy and continuity, reinforcing the values of togetherness and gratitude that have long defined the Duggar family. Additionally, group outings such as trips to local parks, nature walks, or visits to nearby farms allow the children to explore and bond while giving the adults time to reconnect. Religious observances also play a role in maintaining their shared identity. Church services, Bible studies, and prayer gatherings offer spiritual grounding and reinforce the foundational beliefs that have shaped the Duggar family for generations. While Jinger and Jeremy may approach faith with a slightly different perspective than their parents, they still value the sense of community and moral guidance that these traditions provide. Participating in these rituals alongside their extended family helps ensure that their children grow up with a strong sense of heritage, while also being encouraged to develop their own relationship with spirituality. Through these everyday interactions and intentional efforts to stay connected, the Duggars continue to nurture the deep familial ties that have always been at the heart of their story. As Jinger and Jeremy settle into this next chapter of their lives, they do so with a deep appreciation for the lessons of the past and an unwavering commitment to building a future that reflects their evolving values. Raising their children in a world that is constantly shifting requires adaptability, patience, and resilience, qualities they continue to cultivate both individually and as a team. With each new season of life, they are reminded of the importance of staying grounded in what truly matters: love, family, and personal growth. Despite the challenges that come with navigating parenthood in a way that sometimes diverges from their upbringing, Jinger and Jeremy remain grateful for the strong foundation their families have provided. They recognize that their journey is not about rejecting the past, but rather about refining it, taking what serves them and letting go of what no longer aligns with their beliefs. This mindset allows them to honor their roots while embracing the freedom to forge their own path. Looking ahead, Jinger and Jeremy are focused on creating a stable, nurturing environment where their children can thrive. They hope to instill in them a sense of curiosity, compassion, and confidence, encouraging them to think independently while remaining rooted in the values of kindness and integrity. Whether their children choose to follow in familiar footsteps or blaze their own trail, Jinger and Jeremy are committed to supporting them every step of the way. In the end, their greatest aspiration is simple yet profound: to raise a family grounded in love, guided by faith, and strengthened by the enduring bonds of kinship. The Duggar family, known for their strong religious convictions and conservative lifestyle, has long been associated with strict adherence to modesty. As a prominent figure in the evangelical Christian community, Jim Bob Duggar instilled these values into his large family, emphasizing that clothing choices should reflect humility and moral integrity. For the Duggar daughters, this meant avoiding form-fitting or revealing attire, particularly when it came to swimwear. Instead of traditional swimsuits, they were encouraged to wear full-coverage alternatives such as rash guards and swim skirts, which aligned with their family's beliefs about modesty. This approach was not only a personal choice, but also a public statement, reinforcing their commitment to a lifestyle rooted in faith and tradition. Given this context, Abby Duggar's decision to wear an actual swimsuit marked a significant departure from the expectations set by her parents. Unlike previous instances where she had opted for more conservative swimwear options, this time she chose a standard two-piece bikini, a style that would have previously been considered inappropriate within her family's standards. The shift in her wardrobe raised questions about her evolving perspective on modesty and whether she was beginning to distance herself from the strict guidelines that had shaped her upbringing. While some might view this change as a minor fashion choice, for those familiar with the Duggar family's deeply ingrained values, it represented a potential turning point in Abby's personal journey. Abby Duggar's past choices regarding swimwear had consistently reflected her family's emphasis on modesty. Throughout her teenage years and early adulthood, she adhered to the expectation of wearing full-coverage swimwear, often opting for long-sleeved rash guards paired with swim skirts. These outfits, while functional for activities like swimming or beach outings, were designed to align with the Duggar family's belief in maintaining conservative dress. Even as she grew older and began making more independent decisions, Abby continued to uphold these principles in public appearances, demonstrating a commitment to the values instilled in her since childhood. However, her recent decision to wear an actual swimsuit marks a noticeable shift in her approach to modesty. Unlike previous occasions where she maintained strict adherence to her family's standards, this new choice indicates a willingness to explore different expressions of personal style. While she has not made any overt statements about rejecting her upbringing, the subtle yet significant change in her swimwear suggests that she may be reevaluating certain aspects of the rules that governed her life. This evolution does not necessarily indicate a complete departure from her family's teachings, but rather a gradual exploration of how she wants to present herself as an individual navigating both her faith and personal identity. Abby Duggar's decision to wear a traditional swimsuit quickly sparked a wave of reactions from both fans and critics, highlighting the polarizing nature of her choice. On social media platforms, discussions erupted across comment sections, forums, and fan pages dedicated to the Duggar family. Supporters praised her for embracing personal freedom and expressing confidence in her own skin, viewing her swimwear choice as a step towards self-empowerment. Many fans emphasized that growing up often involves exploring personal boundaries and experimenting with different styles, even if those choices differ from one's upbringing. Conversely, critics voiced concerns over what they perceived as a deviation from the family's long-held values. Some followers of the Duggar family expressed disappointment, arguing that Abby's swimwear choice contradicted the modesty principles that had defined the family's public image. Others speculated that her decision signified a broader shift away from the strict religious teachings that shaped her childhood. Comments ranged from respectful disagreements to harsh criticisms, with some individuals questioning whether this change indicated a larger ideological transformation. Despite the mixed reception, Abby's choice ignited broader conversations about personal autonomy, faith, and the evolving identities of individuals raised in highly structured environments. Abby Duggar's experience reflects a broader challenge faced by individuals raised in faith-based communities, navigating personal autonomy while remaining connected to deeply ingrained traditions. Many people who grow up within strict religious households encounter moments where their evolving perspectives clash with the expectations of their families and communities. In Abby's case, her swimwear choice serves as a small but meaningful example of how individuals raised in such environments often grapple with reconciling their personal preferences with the values instilled in them from an early age. For some, these moments of divergence represent a natural part of self-discovery, as they seek to define their identities beyond the framework provided by their upbringing. Others may struggle with feelings of guilt or conflict, especially when their choices are perceived as stepping away from established norms. This tension is not unique to the Duggar family, but rather a common theme among individuals raised in religiously conservative settings. Whether it involves clothing, relationships, or career paths, the process of asserting personal agency can be both liberating and challenging, requiring individuals to balance respect for their roots with the desire to forge their own path. Abby Duggar's journey highlights the delicate balance between honoring one's upbringing and embracing personal growth. Her decision to wear a swimsuit that deviates from her family's expectations underscores the complexities of maintaining a connection to deeply held traditions while exploring individual expression. This dynamic is not uncommon among those raised in faith-based communities, where the tension between collective values and personal autonomy often shapes life choices. Navigating this space requires careful consideration, recognizing the influence of one's background while allowing room for self-determination. In many cases, individuals find ways to honor their roots without feeling confined by them. Some choose to uphold certain traditions while selectively adapting others to fit their evolving perspectives. Others may gradually redefine their relationship with specific beliefs or practices, forging a path that feels authentic to their experiences. Ultimately, the ability to reconcile personal identity with familial and cultural expectations is a deeply individual process, shaped by introspection, maturity, and the ongoing dialogue between past influences and future aspirations.